Ilya shouldn't be here. But her giggling voice echoes up and down the hall. Maybe it's just like an illusion? Ugh! I whirl around. Everyone skids to a stop. The instant we see our enemy, we know we're dead as soon as we turn our backs to them. Well. Ilyasville. Tosaka's voice trembles. Back at the other end of the hall, we see her standing at the top of the stairs we just descended. She shouldn't be here. Ironically, it's a similar arrangement to our first meeting. Ilya standing above us with Berserker behind her. Berserker's presence is overwhelming. Now that I can assess a servant's strength, I understand what a monster he really is. We can't do this. Even if Saber's at full strength, Berserker's just too powerful. It wouldn't even be a battle. That monster can't be beat, not in a fight. If we are ever going to beat Berserker, we have to figure out how to do it without fighting him. So my money's still on poison. In other words, if we want to live, we need to stay far away from Berserker. A bit late for that. Good evening. I'm so happy you came to see me, Rin. Ilya's voice is cheerful and bouncy. She is smiling, that same smile I saw the night we met. Innocent but merciless. She won't settle to squash us like bugs. And that's when I realized we're not going to escape. Period. No matter what I do, I can't stop Ilya. Even if I try to draw Ilya's attention, that won't let Tosaka and the others escape. What's wrong? You're so boring when you just keep your mouth shut. I'm giving you some time, so I suggest writing a will while you still can. Do you have like a notary public around? Because I think we need to get that notarized or something, right? She giggles. But we don't have time for these kinds of games. I'm glad Ilya likes my jokes, at least. That makes one person! We need to run to the entrance the second we can find an opening. Even if we know we'll never get an opening, all we can do is wait and hope. Then let me ask you one thing. Even in this situation, Tosaka takes a step closer towards Ilya. Ilyasville, I didn't sense your presence coming back. Were you hiding this entire time? Yes, I didn't go anywhere. I was watching all of you make fools out of yourselves from here. Could this be like a astral projection type of thing, maybe? Oh, really? So it wasn't the real you heading outside? Right, I knew you were coming. I'm the lord of this place, so I should entertain my guests, right? Right then, the giant vanishes. I'm not sure if it jumped or just moved. Next thing I know, Berserker appears in the middle of the lobby, creating a whirlwind. This is the end for us. If we retreat towards the entrance, he'll slice us in half with that axe sword the moment we turn our backs to him. But we're dead if we stay here, too. Our only other option is to challenge that walking mass of death, however futile it'll be. Are we done talking? Then let's begin, Berserker. The pale girl raises her hand as if performing a ritual and looks down on us. I swear I won't let anyone get away today. Her declaration is equal parts of murderous intent and delight. Berserker's eyes light up. Before, Berserker had moved only as Ilya ordered, but now he's free to act, and he identifies us as enemies. Something's making a grinding sound. Tosaka? Tosaka grits her teeth hard, as if in regrets. Archer, can you hear me? Tozaka speaks quietly without turning. We don't need long. Distract him for us. She just ordered her servant to his death. Archer doesn't answer. Ridiculous, are you mad, Rin? Archer cannot possibly go up against Berserker alone. We're going to take that chance to escape. Archer's going to buy us time. Tozaka continues giving her orders, ignoring Saber. Her voice is cold, devoid of any emotion. Archer had been silent as if pondering something. His eyes fixed on Berserker gives a slight nod. A sound plan. I will be able to escape once Rin and the others have. Independent action is an Archer's strong suit. He takes a step forward as if to protect Tozaka. Berserker doesn't move. Leila's laughter echoes from above. Oh wow, this is a surprise? You think your nobody of a servant can stop my Heracles? I never thought you would do something so cute, Rin. Neither Tozaka nor Archer are in any position to object. They know better than anyone. Archer steps forward. He's empty-handed, as usual. Good luck. Godspeed, Archer. Tozaka looks at Archer's back. There's nothing she can say to him. She must know her orders are absurd. They amounted to telling Archer to die so we could escape. Archer, Tozaka's about to say something. But... Rin, I just want to check something with you. Archer interrupts her, speaking so nonchalantly that it seems out of place. Fine. What's... Tozaka turns toward Archer, her eyes downcast. Archer's gaze stays locked on Berserker. Yeah, I don't mind buying you time. But you wouldn't mind if I just beat this thing, right? It sounds completely ridiculous. Archer, are you? No, there's no need to hold back. Give him hell, Archer. Understood. Guess I should try to live up to your expectations. Archer walks forward. Only 10 meters until he reaches Berserker. At this distance, it could close on Archer instantly. You're making a mockery of me. Fine, get him, Berserker. Go tear that cocky man to pieces. His voice is hysterical. Tozaka turns her back, not paying attention. Let's go. Once we're out, we've won. Tozaka grabs my hand as well as Saber's and runs. Saber doesn't object. She follows Tozaka. I start running toward the entrance, leaving Archer behind. But then from behind me... Shiromiya! He calls out to me, his back still to me. I let go of Tozaka's hand and turn around. In the lobby, now a good ways from me, I see Archer's back as he faces down Berserker. Listen, you're not a fighter. You only create. Berserker draws near. Archer's still empty-handed and he doesn't take a single step while he watches his enemy closing in. Don't think about anything else. There's only one thing you can do, so master that one thing. Archer raises one hand. I have no idea when he got it, but he's holding a short sword now. Don't forget, what you need to do is to always imagine yourself as the strongest. You'll need an enemy. The only opponent you need to fight is your own mind. I see him start to shift. Berserker's sword sends a rush of wind ahead of him. I turn and run, not staying to watch the clash. Tasaka and Saber are already at the entrance. I run and I don't look back. The sight of the man in red made it clear that I needed to go. We hurry through the long hallway and out through the gate. Hard as it is to believe, we were really in a castle. And an old one at that, hidden deep in a forest. The whole place is surrounded by trees as far as one can see. I can't see any buildings or even the sky in the distance. This way, we should be able to reach the main road in about 3 hours. We'd better run. 3 hours? Honestly, I'm not sure I'll last that long. I'm not tired, but the pain gets worse with every step. Like a 3-hour run, that's like... keeping like a decent enough pace, that's like 15 to 20 miles, probably. If I could at least rest, my fever might break, but we don't have time for that. Shiro, hurry. Tasaka sounds every bit as hurried. She'd given Archer's orders. As composed as she looks, I can see the regret weighing on her. I know, they're going to catch up. Saber, let's hurry. Oh, yes, let's hurry, Shiro. Saber's eyes are downcast, but she breaks into a run with us. We follow Tasaka as she slips between the trees. Saber's breath rattles loudly in her chest as she runs beside me. It's too dark for me to see clearly, but I can tell she's struggling. I can't ignore it any longer. Saber loses her balance. I swoop in from the side and take hold of her before she hits the ground. That's it, you can't go on anymore, Saber. What are you saying, Shiro? I've been in situations like this many times. I can still run. What are you talking about? Experience or not, you're still in pain now. Come on, you need to admit you're struggling. I pull her arm. Saber hardly weighs anything anyway. I gather her effortlessly into my arms. What are you doing, Shiro? No questions, just rest for a while. I'll be the first to fall if I have to keep watching you struggle like that. No, insolence! Unhand me! Do you truly believe this is enough to make me collapse? Saber struggles in my arms, but her resistance is weak. Her thin arms have no real strength in them as she pushes at my chest. It pains me to see that's how weak she's gotten. I never imagined Saber could be too weak to push away from someone picking her up. What are you thinking, Shiro? I'll not permit such behavior even from my master. Look, it's a matter of practicality and pragmatism, alright? Saber struggles against me, her face beat red. I can't really blame her. It's actually a terribly embarrassing position for a knight to be in, but now isn't the time to worry about that. Lies, you're too weak to even push me away. This is an order from your master, but worth noting, it's not a command, not a command spell order. If you don't listen, I'll have to use a command spell. Well, that is cruel. I will not tolerate such absurd nonsense as using a command spell for something like this. Then keep quiet. If we don't hurry, Tasaka's going to leave us behind. Sarah must have given up as she reluctantly falls silent. That's good enough for now. As long as she's not struggling, I can carry her and run at the same time. Spots burst across my vision. As I run, my blood pumps faster. I try to fight down the nausea, burning at the back of my throat, gritting my teeth with every step. My breathing is erratic, but I do all that I can to hold the pain at bay. There's a reason for that. Shiro, please put me down. I run on my own. When she sees me struggling, Saber looks up at me, concerned. I can't stop now. Don't underestimate me. Carrying you is nothing. Compared to a broken stove, a girl's light as a feather. But just shut your mouth. Is give and take just not in your vocabulary? You've saved me plenty, so it wouldn't be fair for me not to do this. I need to pay you back for everything you've done. Else I can't have you protecting me tomorrow. No, that's not true. And you doing this is most certainly unfair. Fine by me. It just means I'll have to do something like this. I'll only have to do something like this once. Besides, I'm starting to get motivated now. I take a breath and pick up the pace. Tasaka knows very well that I have Saber in my arms, but she keeps taking us through narrower and narrower paths. It's a good thing Saber's so light, but following Tasaka is a trial all on its own. If you keep talking, you might bite your tongue, so I'd appreciate it if you stopped. Yes, then I'll do as my master says. Saber relaxes in my arms. She was tense earlier, which made carrying her harder. Now it's a bit easier. The problem now is whether Saber and I will make it to our destination. I don't know how long we've been running. Maybe 30 minutes? Maybe an hour? Running doesn't take a lot out of me. I've been training hard and Saber's so light. But right now, there is something wrong inside me. The more I move, the dizzier I get. I feel like I'm about to throw up. I would have understood it if I'd been bitten by a snake and the poison was doing a number on me since we're in a forest, but this is nothing. This pain won't bring me to my knees. It's just a heaviness in my chest, and I need to throw something up. And it's nothing compared to the heat I'm feeling in my arms right now. Saber's closed her eyes as if she were sleeping. She's not resisting. She's relaxed. Her body's growing hotter by the moment. Her clothes are damp with sweat even though it's in the middle of winter, and she's tucked her head down to hide her labored breathing from me. This is bad. At this rate, there'll be a repeat of that one night. The night Saber collapsed from exhaustion after using her noble phantasm against Ryder. Saber's condition hasn't changed since that night. Was she able to talk until now because she was just in the brief window before she disappeared? I run in an attempt to prevent that from coming true. I don't care what happens to my body. I move my feet as fast as I can, hoping that we can do something as long as we make it home. I very nearly trip and skid to a stop, leaning right back against a tree. I taste blood. So that's where the nausea's coming from. None got on Saber, since it was just a little bit. But the source of my nausea churns in my chest. Well, depending on how you look at it, this is actually better. Saber would be pretty upset about the waste of food if I threw up. Actually, knowing Saber, she might well cut me in half for it. Yep, that's funny. The bit of levity lends me just a little more energy. Okay, break's over. No, you're done pushing yourself, Shiro. Saber? She wasn't asleep? Saber speaks up from where she lays in my arms. What? What do you mean I'm done? You should escape on your own, Shiro. You cannot continue to carry me in your state. What? The hell I can't! I just tripped! This is nothing! Says the boy so pale he looks like a corpse. Hey! Tasaka's come back for some reason. Huh. If you want to put on a brave front, go ahead. Yeah, the forest is pretty dark, but you should still wipe the blood from your mouth. No wonder Saber's worried. This is a relief. With her in present, I need not explain myself. Figured so. I just know what you're trying to say, Saber. I don't have much time, so go ahead and say what you want to say, so even a big dummy like him will get it. Saber nods. Yes, Rin. Please leave me here. You will not make it out with me. And more importantly, I cannot last any longer. I can't really insist she's being ridiculous. Neither of them needs to remind me how much worse Saber's getting. Saber won't last long. I have the sense she won't make it until morning, the way things are going. I see. So what do you think, Shiro? Are you going to die with Saber out here? Of course not! I've got no plans to die, or to let Saber disappear. If she's going to disappear, I'll use my command spellers, or whatever. Okay, that's good enough for me. Let's take care of both problems then. Huh? We'll save Saber, and the three of us will escape this forest. That'll be the plan. Just like that? What's the catch? Huh? My brain feels like mushy tofu. Just like it says the damnedest things, and always so casually. Hold on a minute. Yeah, I'd really like to do that, but we can't. Just follow me. I have no intention of letting Saber die either. I'll have you know. I'm not going to let this opportunity slip away. I'm going to make sure you fulfill your duty. Sure said it was okay, so you don't mind, right, Saber? What's going to happen? Tozaka looks towards Saber meaningfully. Saber doesn't answer. Instead, she averts her eyes awkwardly. Like, the only thing I can think of right now is, if Archer died, does that give Rin the ability to, like, transfer and get a new servant? Maybe? I don't know. Because if Rin was Saber's master, she'd be fine. Because the issue is that I can't transfer my power to her. But if she was like anyone else's master, then that wouldn't be a problem. Or servant, then that wouldn't be a problem. Once we pass through the exceptionally tall trees, something unexpected comes into our view. A ruin? We should be able to hide out here for a while. Arch found this place on our way up here. He said we could use it as a hideout just in case. But this doesn't really solve our long-term problems, does it? Trees choke the ruins. Only one of the rooms on the second floor remains more or less intact. The windows are miraculously undamaged, and the brilliant moonlight casts the room in its pale glow. Huh, it's pretty clean in here. Maybe someone was staying here recently. Nothing phases this girl. Tozaka steps over the rubble and pats the bed near the wall with both hands. Shiro, over here. We should lay Saber here. Getting carried can actually be pretty tiring, you know? Yeah, I'll be right there. I lay Saber on the old beat-up bed. How are you holding up, Saber? Can you still move? Yes, I'm fine since Shiro carried me here. It seems I can still maintain my body. Okay, then there's only one issue left. So in an hour. It may take a little longer even if Elysville is going to pursue us. No, we might be able to hide here until morning if they have trouble finding us. Oh? She just reminded me of something. We've run as far as the ruins, but what happened with Berserker and Archer? He stayed in the castle to hold Berserker off. It's already been an hour. Archer should have retreated from the castle by now. Tozaka, Tozaka doesn't respond. She only presses her right hand to her heart, like she's clutching something precious. And that's enough to tell me what happened to Archer. Tozaka's command spell is on her right arm. A master and a servant are connected. In the same way Saber was able to detect when I was in danger, a master can sense when their servant is alive or dead. Tosaka, he... Yeah, I told him to just buy us some time. That guy. He was pretentious till the very end. Silence falls between us. It feels like the silence will last forever, but then... But I won't let it be meaningless. Since I've lost Archer, I'm going to defeat Berserker here. The sound of Tosaka punching her hand into her fist breaks the silence. No more mourning. My rule is that I should take action if I have time to worry. We've come this far, so now I'm going to have you make a decision too. Huh? What kind of decision? You should know very well the decision to defeat Enosville by killing the Berserker. If we have Saber with us, we can't get out of this forest, and having her recover naturally would take too long. Whichever we try, Ilya catches us. Don't you get it? If the three of us are ever going to leave this forest, we need to defeat Berserker. But there's only two of us that are healthy, and neither of us are servants. We'd be so outmatched. If we can't do that, we're just going to follow Archer. Defeat Berserker? That monster? Defeat that invincible whirlwind of death? I can't imagine that being possible. If we fight, we die. Tosaka should understand that perfectly herself. Is her plan still to defeat him, even knowing that? No, that's wrong. What am I saying? Tosaka's not saying we can beat it. She's not so blindly optimistic. Yeah. Got it. We're not going to beat him to win. I should realize that from the beginning. We have to beat him, don't we? That's all there is to it. If we don't want to die here, we have to defeat that monster. Exactly. Things aren't as dire as you might think either. Yeah, it's Berserker, but he should be wounded after fighting Archer. I've brought my entire jewel collection, and if Saber can recover, then we can come up with a plan or two. But how can she recover? In fact, don't you think this is our best opportunity to defeat Elisville since Berserker's wounded? But is there a way to heal Saber? This isn't the best place to treat her. No, location isn't the important thing for treating Saber. Saber's only weak because she's out of magical energy. If we can replenish enough of that magical energy, she should be able to use her abilities like before. Can we use your gems, maybe? Like, I don't know exactly how those work mechanically, but they're like a form of magical energy, right? Tosaka's explanation reminds me of late last night. She said that Saber's magical energy was mostly gone, which is why to restore Saber's magical energy. If you want to save Saber, you'll need to tell her to attack people and eat their souls. Then there's only one answer. Use a command spell, Mia. That should at least let you avoid the worst case here. I have 2 command spells left. I'll use one to make Saber attack people so she can devour their souls to replenish her magical energy. If Saber won't recover, we can't defeat Berserker. If we can't defeat Berserker, then he'll kill us. Look at Saber where she lies. We're just letting her suffer at this point, but... No. I still can't agree to let Saber attack innocent people. Yes, I actually agree this time. Huh? If we were somewhere else, I might have suggested it. But we're in Elisville's forest. There's not a single human soul around. There might be some people besides Ilya and Berserk in the castle, but going back there is a suicide mission. For Saber to eat souls, we'd have to be out of this place, so that's not going to happen right now. Tosaka nods. I'm relieved not to have to make Saber attack people, but then how are we supposed to replenish Saber's magical energy? So what do we need to do, Tosaka? This whole problem comes from me not being able to provide Saber with magical energy. There are other ways. I thought I explained that to you yesterday. Well, I guess it's the day before yesterday now. Sharing magical energy with a servant can be accomplished by sharing MageCraft and a handful of other methods. Back then, well, I didn't say anything because I never thought we would end up in a situation like this. Huh? I tried to think back to our conversation that night. Now that she mentioned it, she said something like, well, a path should have been created between you and Saber during summoning, so it might be a different way, but I think that's what Tosaka said. I remember now. You said something about a path, and that there's some other method besides MageCraft? Right? Or did I get it wrong? At the time, I was shocked to learn that I had to make Saber attack people, so I might have misheard her. Tosaka, is there another way? Yeah, there are two options I can help you with, but this isn't exactly an ideal situation for either. Listen, Saber lacks magical energy because the path between you two is incomplete. In order for her to recover, we need to reform the path between you to make it work properly. That's probably the best solution, but I don't know how to do it. Saber's summoning was messed up from the start. If I'd been able to make a connection to supply her with magical energy, we wouldn't be in this mess. It's quite simple. We need you and Saber to bond properly and reconnect your spiritual path. That's the only way to fix a path without breaking the contract or resummoning her. Okay, so we need to bond properly. How does one achieve a bond once the summoning has already occurred? And to do that, we need to transplant your magical circuits to Saber. Okay, sounds tough. Huh. Transplant my magic circuits to Saber. You say that as if it's so easy. To establish this path between you and Saber, we need to transplant spiritually important organs. If the servant and master are borrowing the Holy Grail's power, we need to create a connection just as strong, or else the path won't be formed. And to accomplish that, we need to transplant the master's magic circuits to their servant. It's going to require something that extreme, or your powers won't reach Saber. Okay. But, so I guess I get the theory behind it, but in practice, how do we do that? It's like, I assume it's not like a surgery. Magic circuits. An indispensable mechanism for mages that use Odd to activate mana. It's the core of a mage's existence, and without it, the magical energy that serves as the source of a mage's power can't be created. To a mage, their magic circuits are more important than life itself. They see them as the thing that gives their existence value. It's too dangerous to transplant a servant's circuits to a master. Translating the circuits of a ghost liners, especially heroic spirits, into a dying person pretty much only leads to severe rejection. So the remaining option is to transplant your circuits to Saber. Okay. But it amounts to ripping nerves out of your body, which means the burden here will be entirely on the one offering the transplant. Ripping out nerves is the same as amputating fingers or even arms. Please wait, Rin. I do too much for Shiro. And if we don't do it, none of us will survive. You should know that, Saber. I gulp as quietly as I can. I have to get my priorities straight. We don't have time for me to hesitate when what needs to be done is clear. Tosaka, can you make this work? I'll make it work, yes. But even if it works, it's not going to be safe or easy. I have no intention of failing, but even if I succeed, your magic circuits will go to Saber. You experience such an intense sense of loss and pain, You'll wish I had failed. If your magic circuits are taken from you, that means you... It would mean that my secondary nerve, my missing magic circuits, would be like a piece torn from my psyche. It would damage the spiritual body's integrity, creating a fatal flaw in me as a mage. I will never regain that missing piece for as long as I live. My hope of becoming full-fledged mage from experience alone will die. Once I lose my foundation, my magic circuits, I will always be incomplete, no matter what. I nod for my own sake. Is that all? I'd rather save Saber. Okay. Let's do it, Tosaka. That was fast? Oh, well, I guess it's fine. You decided so fast, but do you really understand what you were getting into? I do. You already told me. Of course you don't! Listen, I've basically just told you that you're going to have to die as a mage to save Saber. How can you just agree without any questions or objections? Because I don't have any objections. I'm agreeing because it's the best plan we have. You should be more confident in your own plan. Seeing you panic like that is making me worry. And if we don't do this, Saber can't fight Berserker, right? Right, that's what I've been saying. See, and it's not like we haven't made any sacrifices. We have to fight and win, since he bought us time. His stance told me to go. I didn't like him, but if he was willing to risk his life to protect his master, Tosaka, I can't back out now. Fine, let's begin, Shiro.